Ladies and gentlemen, love is one of the most profound and beautiful experiences we can share as human beings. It can elevate us, inspire us, and make us feel whole. But love, when placed in the wrong hands, can also be a source of heartbreak, disappointment, and pain. A man's ability to treat others with respect is one of the most telling indicators of his true character. The way he interacts with those who seemingly cannot offer him anything in return, such as waitstaff, service workers, or strangers, is a direct reflection of his inner values and mindset. Disrespectful behavior toward others is not just a personality quirk or a momentary lapse in judgment. It is a deeper issue that signals a lack of empathy, compassion, and self-awareness. It's a warning sign that should never be ignored, especially in the context of a romantic relationship. When a man is dismissive or rude to others, it often reveals a superiority complex or a sense of entitlement. This behavior stems from a belief that he is above others, making him incapable of valuing the humanity and dignity of those around him. While it might initially seem like this attitude doesn't directly affect you, rest assured that it will. Over time, his lack of respect for others will manifest in his relationship with you, undermining the trust, love, and mutual respect that are essential for a healthy partnership. Disrespect can take many forms. It might be subtle, like interrupting someone mid-sentence, ignoring a person's contributions, or making sarcastic or belittling remarks. In more overt cases, it could involve shouting, criticizing, or openly humiliating others. Regardless of the intensity, the underlying message is the same: a disregard for the feelings, worth, and individuality of another person. A man who consistently displays these behaviors may struggle to foster the kind of deep emotional connection that a romantic relationship requires. Consider this: how someone treats people they deem unimportant is often a clear predictor of how they will behave in moments of conflict or stress. When everything is going smoothly, it's easy for anyone to put on a kind face and act considerate. But during challenging times, a person's true nature becomes evident. If a man cannot muster basic courtesy toward others in everyday situations, how can you expect him to handle disagreements, misunderstandings, or difficulties in your relationship with maturity and respect? Respect is not a trait that can be selectively applied. It is a fundamental part of a person's moral compass. A man who respects others will naturally respect you, your feelings, and your boundaries. On the contrary, a man who lacks respect will eventually show the same behavior toward you, even if he initially treats you well. It might start small, dismissing your opinions, interrupting you, or making insensitive comments, but these actions often escalate over time, leading to a relationship dynamic that is unhealthy and emotionally draining. Moreover, a lack of respect for others often points to deeper emotional and psychological issues. It could indicate unresolved insecurities, poor self-esteem, or a lack of emotional intelligence. Instead of addressing these issues, such a man might project his frustrations onto others, using disrespect as a way to assert dominance or mask his vulnerabilities. This pattern not only creates a toxic environment for those around him, but also makes it nearly impossible to build a relationship founded on mutual respect and understanding. On the flip side, a man who consistently treats others with kindness and respect demonstrates qualities that are essential in a life partner. His ability to empathize with others, value their contributions, and show appreciation for their efforts reflects a strong moral character and a genuine heart. This kind of man understands that every person has inherent worth and that respect is not earned but given freely as a basic human courtesy. In a relationship, these qualities translate into a partner who listens, supports, and uplifts you, even during difficult times. When evaluating a potential partner, it's crucial to look beyond how he treats you directly and pay close attention to how he interacts with the world around him. Does he say please and thank you to waitstaff? Does he hold the door open for someone carrying a heavy load? Does he speak kindly to those who are vulnerable or in need? These small gestures, though seemingly insignificant, speak volumes about his character and values. Love should be built on a foundation of mutual respect and kindness. A man who lacks respect for others cannot offer the kind of love that is nourishing, supportive, and fulfilling. By choosing to ignore this red flag, you risk entering a relationship that may start with promise but is destined to be plagued by conflicts, misunderstandings, and emotional pain. Respect is not negotiable, and it is certainly not something that can be taught or forced upon someone. It must come from within, stemming from a deep sense of empathy and a genuine appreciation for the worth of every individual. When you notice a man being dismissive, rude, or disrespectful toward others, take it as a clear signal to pause and reevaluate. No matter how charming, attractive, or attentive he may seem, this behavior is a red flag that cannot be ignored. Remember, a man who respects others respects himself, and most importantly, he will respect you. Never settle for anything less than a partner who embodies the qualities of kindness, empathy, and genuine respect. Emotional unavailability in a man can be one of the most challenging and frustrating traits to navigate in a relationship. At first glance, it might not be immediately obvious. He could appear charming, composed, or even attentive, but as time goes on, a pattern begins to emerge. He consistently avoids deeper conversations, struggles to express vulnerability, or completely shuts down when emotions come into play. Emotional unavailability is not just a barrier to meaningful communication, it's a roadblock to the intimacy and connection that a healthy relationship requires. A man who is emotionally unavailable often struggles to connect with his own feelings, let alone yours. This inability may stem from past traumas, fears of vulnerability, or a lack of emotional maturity. Whatever the cause, the impact on a relationship is profound. Emotional intimacy is the glue that binds two people together, fostering trust, understanding, and a sense of safety. Without it, even the strongest initial attraction or surface-level compatibility will eventually begin to falter. One of the most telling signs of emotional unavailability is avoidance. He might steer clear of discussing anything that feels too deep or personal. Conversations about future plans, personal struggles, or emotions may be deflected with humor, sarcasm, or a change of subject. This avoidance is not just frustrating, it creates a disconnect that leaves you feeling unheard and unseen. A relationship with an emotionally unavailable man often feels one-sided, where you are left doing most of the emotional heavy lifting. Another hallmark of emotional unavailability is an unwillingness to confront or resolve conflicts. Disagreements and misunderstandings are inevitable in any relationship, but they also present an opportunity for growth and deeper connection. A man who is emotionally unavailable, however, may retreat, shut down, or become defensive when faced with conflict. Instead of working through issues together, he might leave them unresolved, leading to resentment and a growing emotional distance. The inability to express vulnerability is another common trait of an emotionally unavailable man. Vulnerability is the cornerstone of emotional intimacy. It's about sharing fears, insecurities, hopes, and dreams without fear of judgment. But for an emotionally unavailable man, this level of openness feels threatening. He may perceive vulnerability as a weakness, avoiding it at all costs. This reluctance creates a wall between you, preventing you from truly getting to know him and forming a deeper connection. For a partner on the receiving end of this behavior, the emotional toll can be significant. You may find yourself constantly second-guessing his feelings or questioning the relationship's future. You might feel like you're always walking on eggshells, afraid to bring up certain topics for fear of his reaction or lack thereof. Over time, this emotional imbalance can lead to feelings of loneliness, frustration, and even self-doubt. It's important to note that emotional unavailability doesn't always mean a lack of care or affection. An emotionally unavailable man might genuinely care for you but be incapable of expressing it in a meaningful way. This creates a confusing dynamic where his actions might not match his words, leaving you in a constant state of uncertainty. You deserve a partner who not only cares for you but also shows it through consistent actions and open communication. The consequences of emotional unavailability extend beyond the relationship itself. It can affect your sense of self-worth and emotional well-being. Being with someone who cannot or will not meet your emotional needs can make you feel as though you're asking for too much, when in reality, you're simply asking for the basic ingredients of a healthy relationship. Love should not feel like a battle to be understood or an uphill climb to reach someone's heart. So what can you do if you find yourself with an emotionally unavailable partner? First, it's crucial to recognize that this is not something you can fix. Emotional availability is a personal journey, and it's not your responsibility to teach or change someone who isn't willing to grow. You can express your needs and feelings, but ultimately it's up to him to decide whether he's willing to address his emotional barriers. It's also important to set boundaries and prioritize your own emotional health. Ask yourself whether the relationship is fulfilling your needs and contributing positively to your life. If it's not, it may be time to consider whether staying in the relationship is the best decision for you. The right partner will be someone who meets you on equal footing emotionally, someone who listens, understands, and reciprocates your vulnerability. He will not shy away from deeper conversations or difficult moments. Instead, he will embrace them as opportunities to grow together. Emotional intimacy is not a luxury or a bonus in a relationship, it is a necessity. Love without emotional availability is like a flower without sunlight. It cannot thrive. No matter how much you care for someone, you cannot build a strong, lasting relationship with a man who refuses to let his guard down and connect with you on a deeper level. Emotional unavailability is a sign to pause and reevaluate, not a challenge to overcome. You deserve a love that is open, honest, and deeply connected. Anything less is not worth settling for. A man who lacks ambition or direction in life can be a significant red flag in a romantic relationship. While not everyone has their entire future mapped out or pursues grandiose dreams, a basic sense of purpose, drive, and a desire for self-improvement are crucial traits for building a fulfilling and stable partnership. When a man consistently displays a lack of motivation or purpose, it can signal underlying issues that may hinder his ability to contribute meaningfully to the relationship and to his own personal growth. Ambition does not necessarily mean striving for wealth, fame, or power. It is about having a sense of direction, setting goals, and actively working toward personal and professional growth. A man without ambition often drifts through life without a clear sense of where he's going or what he wants to achieve. This lack of direction can lead to feelings of stagnation, complacency, and dissatisfaction, not just for him, but for those around him, including you. Relationships thrive on growth, both individual and shared. When one partner lacks the drive to improve or strive for better, it creates an imbalance that can stifle the relationship's potential. A lack of ambition can manifest in various ways. He might repeatedly avoid responsibilities, fail to follow through on commitments, or display apathy toward his job, hobbies, or aspirations. Over time, this behavior can become draining for his partner, who may feel as though they are carrying the weight of the relationship alone. For example, if you're the one consistently making plans, setting goals, and striving for progress while he remains passive, it can lead to frustration and resentment. A healthy relationship requires both partners to contribute equally to its growth, and this includes bringing a shared sense of motivation and purpose to the table. One of the most concerning aspects of a man lacking ambition is the potential impact on his sense of self-worth. Without goals or direction, he may struggle with feelings of inadequacy, boredom, or frustration, which can spill over into the relationship. He might become overly reliant on you for emotional support or validation, placing undue pressure on you to fill the void created by his lack of drive. While offering support is a natural part of any partnership, it becomes problematic when one partner consistently fails to take responsibility for their own growth and happiness. A man without ambition may have difficulty navigating life's challenges. Ambition and direction provide a framework for tackling obstacles and pursuing solutions. A lack of these traits can result in avoidance, procrastination, or an inability to cope with adversity effectively. This can leave you feeling unsupported during difficult times, as he may not have the resilience or problem-solving skills necessary to contribute to the partnership in meaningful ways. A strong relationship is built on mutual support, and this requires both partners to be proactive and engaged in facing life's challenges together. Another issue arises when a lack of ambition limits his ability to envision and work toward a shared future. Building a life together requires planning, effort, and a willingness to grow as individuals and as a couple. If he lacks the drive to pursue his own goals, he may also struggle to contribute to the long-term vision of the relationship. This can create uncertainty and frustration, as you may find yourself questioning whether he is truly invested in the partnership or capable of building a future with you. It's important to consider the deeper reasons behind his lack of ambition. It might stem from fear of failure, past disappointments, or a lack of confidence in his abilities. While these challenges are valid and can be addressed, they require self-awareness and a genuine desire to change. A man who acknowledges his struggles and takes steps to overcome them demonstrates a willingness to grow and improve, which is a positive sign. However, if he remains unwilling to confront these issues or dismisses their impact on the relationship, it may be a sign that he is not ready for a committed partnership. Being in a relationship with a man who lacks ambition can also take a toll on your own aspirations and energy. If you constantly feel the need to motivate, inspire, or push him toward progress, it can become emotionally exhausting. Over time, this dynamic may lead you to compromise your own goals and ambitions in an effort to accommodate his lack of drive. A healthy relationship should empower both partners to reach their full potential, not hold one back due to the other's unwillingness to grow. A man with ambition and direction brings a sense of purpose and determination to the relationship. His drive to improve himself and work toward his goals inspires growth and progress, not just for him, but for the partnership as a whole. He values effort, resilience, and the pursuit of meaningful endeavors, creating a foundation for a relationship that is dynamic, supportive, and forward-moving. Ambition is not about achieving specific milestones or living up to societal expectations. It's about having the courage to strive for a better version of oneself and the life one envisions. A man without ambition lacks this fundamental drive, which can create challenges and imbalances in a relationship. Recognizing this red flag is not about passing judgment, it's about understanding what you deserve: a partner who shares your commitment to growth, progress, and building a life of purpose and fulfillment together. Disrespectful behavior in a relationship is a critical red flag that should never be overlooked or tolerated. At its core, respect forms the foundation of any healthy, loving partnership. It encompasses kindness, empathy, consideration, and a mutual understanding of each other's boundaries and values. When a man consistently shows a lack of respect toward you, it signifies a deep-seated issue that can erode trust, happiness, and the overall stability of the relationship. Disrespect can manifest in various ways, some overt and others more subtle. Verbal insults, condescending remarks, or dismissive behavior are among the more obvious forms. For instance, if he frequently talks down to you, belittles your opinions, or mocks your feelings, he's sending a clear message that he does not value you as an equal partner. This type of behavior not only undermines your confidence, but also creates an environment where you may begin to doubt your worth and question your perspective on situations. Subtle forms of disrespect can be equally damaging. These may include ignoring your boundaries, dismissing your concerns, or consistently prioritizing his needs and desires over yours. For example, if you express discomfort with a particular behavior and he continues to engage in it without consideration for your feelings, it reflects a disregard for your well-being. This lack of respect can gradually chip away at the emotional connection between you, leaving you feeling invisible and unimportant in the relationship. Another form of disrespect is a lack of honesty or transparency. Trust is built on open communication and honesty, and when a man lies, withholds information, or deceives you, it shows a fundamental lack of respect for your intelligence and your ability to handle the truth. Even seemingly small lies can accumulate over time, creating an atmosphere of doubt and insecurity. You deserve a partner who values your trust enough to be forthright, even when it's uncomfortable or inconvenient. Public disrespect is another alarming sign. If he belittles you in front of others, jokes at your expense, or fails to stand up for you when someone else is being disrespectful, it highlights his lack of regard for your dignity. Public humiliation not only damages your self-esteem, but also reflects poorly on his character. A man who respects you will strive to uplift you both in private and in public, ensuring that you feel valued and supported in all situations. Disrespect also extends to how he treats the people and things you care about. If he mocks your family, friends, career, or passions, it demonstrates a lack of understanding and appreciation for the aspects of your life that bring you joy and fulfillment. A loving partner will embrace the things that are important to you, even if they don't fully align with his own interests or priorities. His inability to do so indicates a narrow-mindedness and a failure to acknowledge the broader context of your life. The consequences of tolerating disrespect in a relationship are profound. Over time, it can lead to feelings of resentment, loneliness, and emotional exhaustion. When your needs and boundaries are consistently disregarded, it sends the message that your feelings don't matter, which can make you question your self-worth. A healthy relationship should make you feel empowered and valued, not diminished or disrespected. One of the most insidious aspects of disrespect is its tendency to escalate. What starts as seemingly minor acts of dismissiveness or inconsideration can grow into more severe forms of mistreatment if left unaddressed. For example, a partner who initially ignores your opinions might eventually disregard your autonomy, making important decisions without consulting you. Recognizing and addressing disrespect early is crucial to preventing this downward spiral and protecting your emotional well-being. It's important to acknowledge that everyone makes mistakes and occasional lapses in respect may occur, especially during moments of stress or conflict. However, the key difference lies in how these moments are handled. A respectful partner will acknowledge their missteps, apologize sincerely, and make an effort to improve their behavior. On the other hand, a man who dismisses your concerns, justifies his actions, or shifts blame onto you is unlikely to change, as he lacks the self-awareness and accountability necessary for growth. In evaluating whether disrespect is present in a relationship, trust your instincts. If you often feel disrespected, belittled, or undervalued, it's essential to take a step back and assess the dynamic. Ask yourself whether this behavior is a pattern and whether it aligns with your standards for how you deserve to be treated. Love should never come at the expense of your self-respect or emotional well-being. Respect is not optional in a healthy relationship, it is non-negotiable. A man who truly values and loves you will demonstrate respect consistently through both his words and actions. He will honor your boundaries, listen to your concerns, and treat you with kindness and consideration, even in moments of disagreement. Disrespect, on the other hand, is a sign of deeper issues that cannot be resolved without a willingness to change, and it is not your responsibility to endure or fix such behavior. Choosing to walk away from a man who disrespects you is not a sign of weakness, it is an act of self-respect and self-love. You deserve a partner who uplifts you, supports you, and cherishes you for who you are. Accepting anything less is settling for a relationship that will ultimately do more harm than good. A man who is emotionally unavailable poses a significant challenge in a romantic relationship, as his inability or unwillingness to connect on an emotional level can prevent the partnership from flourishing. Emotional availability is fundamental to building trust, intimacy, and mutual understanding, which are the cornerstones of any healthy relationship. When a man consistently demonstrates emotional unavailability, it creates a barrier that makes it difficult for the relationship to progress or provide the emotional support and fulfillment both partners deserve. Emotional unavailability can manifest in various ways, some of which may initially be subtle. He might avoid discussing feelings, deflect conversations about deeper issues, or shy away from moments of vulnerability. For instance, when you try to share your concerns or emotions, he may respond with indifference, change the subject, or dismiss your feelings altogether. Over time, this can make you feel unheard, invalidated, and disconnected, as the lack of meaningful communication prevents the development of a deeper emotional bond. Another common behavior of an emotionally unavailable man is an aversion to commitment. He may resist defining the relationship, avoid making future plans, or show reluctance to take steps that signify greater emotional investment. This avoidance often stems from fear of being hurt, fear of vulnerability, or fear of losing independence. While these fears are understandable, a man unwilling to confront and overcome them may remain stuck in patterns of emotional detachment, preventing the relationship from moving forward. Emotional unavailability often goes hand in hand with inconsistent behavior. He may be affectionate and attentive one moment, but distant and withdrawn the next, leaving you feeling confused and unsure about where you stand. This unpredictability can create an emotional roller coaster where moments of closeness are quickly followed by feelings of rejection. Such patterns are exhausting and can undermine your sense of security in the relationship as you constantly find yourself questioning his feelings and intentions. A deeper issue with emotional unavailability is the lack of empathy and mutual support it often entails. Relationships thrive on reciprocity, where both partners actively listen to and support each other. An emotionally unavailable man may struggle to provide this level of engagement, leaving you feeling as though the emotional labor in the relationship falls disproportionately on your shoulders. For example, while you may be expected to offer understanding and comfort during his tough times, he might not reciprocate when you need support, creating an imbalance that can breed resentment over time. This detachment can also affect how conflicts are handled. Healthy relationships involve open communication and a willingness to address disagreements constructively. An emotionally unavailable man may avoid confrontation altogether, shutting down discussions or walking away when issues arise. Alternatively, he might dismiss your concerns as trivial or accuse you of being overly emotional, leaving problems unresolved and further deepening the emotional gap between you. This lack of resolution can lead to frustration and an accumulation of unspoken grievances, making it difficult for the relationship to grow and thrive. It's important to recognize that emotional unavailability is not necessarily a permanent trait. In some cases, it may stem from unresolved past trauma, fear of vulnerability, or difficulties with emotional expression. A man who acknowledges these struggles and actively works to address them, whether through self-reflection, therapy, or honest conversations, is demonstrating a willingness to grow. However, if he refuses to recognize his emotional detachment or shows no effort to change, it's unlikely that the dynamic will improve no matter how much you try to bridge the gap. The impact of being in a relationship with an emotionally unavailable man is profound. Over time, you may begin to feel emotionally isolated, as the lack of connection prevents you from fully expressing yourself or sharing your inner world. This isolation can erode your self-esteem, as you may start questioning whether your needs and desires are valid or whether you're expecting too much. In reality, wanting emotional intimacy and mutual support is not excessive. It is a fundamental aspect of a healthy relationship. Staying in such a relationship can lead to an unhealthy pattern of overcompensation, where you invest more effort into trying to connect with him, often at the expense of your own emotional well-being. This dynamic can be draining and leave you feeling as though you're walking on eggshells, constantly striving to earn his attention or affection. A healthy partnership should feel balanced and affirming, not like a one-sided pursuit. It's also crucial to understand that his emotional unavailability is not a reflection of your worth. It is easy to internalize his behavior as a sign that you are not enough or that you've done something wrong. However, his inability to connect emotionally is a challenge he must confront within himself. It is not your responsibility to fix or compensate for his detachment. A relationship with an emotionally unavailable man is unlikely to provide the depth, intimacy, and mutual support that you deserve. Emotional availability is the key to building a connection that is authentic, meaningful, and fulfilling. Without it, the relationship remains superficial, leaving both partners unfulfilled. Choosing to prioritize your emotional needs and seek a partner who is capable of and willing to engage on a deeper level is an act of self-respect and a step toward finding the love and connection you truly deserve. In a romantic relationship, trust is a fundamental pillar that sustains the bond between partners. When a man is dishonest, it raises serious concerns about his character and intentions, fundamentally jeopardizing the relationship's stability. Dishonesty can take many forms, including lying, deceit, and betrayal, and it creates a toxic environment where insecurity and doubt thrive. Recognizing the signs of dishonesty is crucial in understanding whether to accept or reject a man as a potential partner. One of the most glaring indicators of dishonesty is a pattern of lying. This can range from significant lies about important matters to smaller, seemingly trivial untruths. Over time, consistent dishonesty erodes trust and leads to feelings of betrayal. For instance, if a man regularly embellishes his accomplishments or fabricates stories to impress you, it suggests that he may not have the confidence to present his true self. This kind of deception can make you question what else he might be hiding, fostering a sense of uncertainty about his authenticity and intentions. Lying can also manifest in more subtle ways. For example, if he frequently changes his story or gives inconsistent information about his past, it raises red flags about his reliability. You might find yourself in conversations where his narrative doesn't quite add up, which can lead to a nagging feeling that something is off. This inconsistency can breed suspicion, making it difficult for you to fully trust him. Trust is built on transparency and reliability, and any inconsistency undermines that foundation. Dishonesty often involves a lack of accountability. A man who is dishonest may deflect responsibility for his actions, making excuses or shifting blame onto others. When confronted about a lie or deceitful behavior, he may respond defensively rather than acknowledging his wrongdoing. This unwillingness to take responsibility indicates a lack of maturity and self-awareness. A partner who cannot own up to mistakes or shortcomings is unlikely to foster a healthy, respectful relationship. A breach of trust can also occur through infidelity or emotional betrayal. If a man engages in romantic or sexual relationships outside of the committed partnership, it represents a profound violation of trust. Infidelity is not just a breach of the physical aspect of the relationship, it also shatters the emotional connection that partners share. Discovering that a man has been unfaithful can leave you feeling devastated, questioning your self-worth and the validity of the relationship. It's essential to recognize that infidelity often stems from deeper issues, such as a lack of emotional availability or fear of commitment. These underlying problems must be addressed to prevent similar breaches in the future. Another significant aspect of dishonesty is the impact it has on communication. Healthy relationships thrive on open and honest dialogue. When a man is dishonest, it creates a barrier to effective communication, as he may withhold information or manipulate the truth to serve his agenda. This can lead to misunderstandings, resentment, and an overall breakdown of communication. You may find yourself walking on eggshells, unsure of how to approach sensitive topics for fear of triggering a defensive or dishonest response. The inability to communicate openly and honestly can lead to emotional distance and disconnection, undermining the intimacy that is crucial for a successful relationship. Dishonesty can also manifest through secrecy. If a man is secretive about his life, friends, or activities, it raises questions about what he may be hiding. Healthy relationships are characterized by transparency, where both partners feel comfortable sharing their lives with one another. Secrecy can create an atmosphere of suspicion and insecurity, leading to feelings of inadequacy and fear of abandonment. You may find yourself wondering what he is keeping from you and whether you can trust him fully. This sense of uncertainty can be damaging to your mental and emotional well-being. The consequences of tolerating dishonesty in a relationship can be far-reaching. When trust is broken, it can lead to ongoing feelings of insecurity and anxiety. You may constantly question his motives, wondering if he is being truthful or if there are ulterior motives behind his actions. This state of uncertainty can take a toll on your emotional health, leaving you feeling drained and exhausted. Over time, you might find yourself caught in a cycle of distrust, where you anticipate dishonesty even in moments of honesty, which further complicates the relationship dynamics. Another critical consideration is the potential for manipulation that often accompanies dishonesty. A dishonest man may use lies to control or manipulate you, creating a power imbalance in the relationship. This manipulation can manifest as gaslighting, where he twists the truth to make you doubt your perceptions or memories. This kind of behavior is not only emotionally damaging, but can also lead to a profound sense of disempowerment, as you struggle to maintain your sense of reality. Recognizing and addressing dishonesty in a relationship is essential for your emotional well-being. If you notice patterns of deceit or manipulation, it's crucial to confront these issues head-on. Open and honest communication is key to resolving conflicts and rebuilding trust. If the man is unwilling to acknowledge his dishonesty or make efforts to change, it may be necessary to reevaluate the relationship and consider whether it is worth your time and emotional investment. Dishonesty is a significant red flag that should never be ignored in a relationship. Trust is foundational to a loving partnership, and a man who is consistently dishonest undermines that trust, creating a toxic and damaging environment. It is essential to prioritize your emotional well-being and seek a partner who is honest, transparent, and willing to engage in open communication. Love should never come at the expense of your self-respect or mental health, and recognizing the signs of dishonesty is a vital step in ensuring that you choose a partner who truly values you and your relationship.